It's just crossing the wires. The company announced it's going to launch a generic EpiPen auto-injector at a discount of more than 50% from its brand name product. And the list price will be $300 for a 2-pack. Mylan expects to launch that product in several weeks, pending completion of labeling revisions, which is weird. So they're launching a generic against their own thing. Yeah, but, you know, it just begs a question that I guess this could have been done at any time. Is this different than just cutting the price to $150 per EpiPen? How is it different than that when you're the company introducing the generic? Kind of like folding, don't you think, Wapner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they hiked the price, what, twice within the last 12 months.
Right.
15% each time.
Right. You know, we've talked about this. I mean, you need competition. You need competition, or else there's no. Otherwise, you're going to have to, you know.
Maybe you just need morals.
That doesn't really.
I know, but
equate in. You know, how would you ever? You never know. That's the whole idea of capitalism. You never know where to price things.
This is not capitalism.
You never know where to price things unless there's.
It's just not.
That the drug delivery had gotten better.
Then you decide on every price every private company sells. You decide on a fair price.
No, common sense decides at some point. Common sense should play a role in the conversation too.
I'd rather not leave. Common sense. Every single person has a different idea of common sense. Every single person has a different idea of fairness. I'd rather have the market dictate what you're able to charge.
Okay, but
that's the way it works.
Who other than the CEO, the board, and shareholders of Mylan look at the price hikes and the ridiculously exorbitant price of the EpiPen and say that that's cool. That's capitalism at its best.
Then you'd measure margins, and there's no way that Intel, just because they're so good at making chips, should be able to charge 60% margins. A fair margin price, Andrew every day tells me a fair margin price is 10%. So then, unless if Intel's guy was moral at all, there's no way he'd sit there and charge 60% margins. I mean, drugs cost pennies to make. Some of them cost $50,000, but there's so many things that go into it.
Is there a difference because the Intel chip isn't saving your life?
There's no way that you can leave pricing to some type of subjective fairness analysis. It has to be capital allocated.
Did the cost of making an EpiPen go up 600%?
You're just doing this just to make some ridiculous point. You know I'm right about this. What dictates pricing is competition.
There needs to be pushback.
Will you just read this? There doesn't need to be pushback.
Yeah,
there needs to be competition.
Stories like this.
There needs to be competition and innovation. And then someone says, you know what? I can make an EpiPen and make a decent profit for $80. You know? Oh, really? Well, I've got one even better.
That's fine, though. So I know
all along. Should it have?
I don't know how you decide.
Okay, so I know there's no competitor, so I'm just going to jack the price up to outer space.
Right. That's
capitalism.
That's what you try to maximize profits. That's something that all private companies try to do for shareholders, maximize profits until it becomes where someone else comes in and says, oh, no, we're not going to let you, that's way too much. We're going to do it for this much. Then somebody else comes in and says, no, well, we'll do it for this. Then somebody else comes in and says, we've got some innovation, we've invested, we're going to do it for this much. We got employees that are working harder and more productive, we're going to do it for this much. And that's what happens. You can't just expect people to say, gee, I think, what's a good price? 320, 310, 80, 140. I feel better about myself if I charge, 80. It's not the Red Cross. If you want all utilities, fine. If you want utilities, maybe there should be zero profit.
I'm saying you
pay your expenses and then you're done.
I'm not saying that any of the points you raise are not valid. I'm just simply saying that this is not the way that the best of capitalism is supposed to work. I'm sorry, but that's just not it.
I'm not leaving people to decide what's right and what's wrong with this. That's not the argument with capitalism. You can't decide things like that.
Hey CNBC fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Here you're going to find videos packed with all of the information that you need to be smarter about your finances. You can subscribe by clicking right here and click on all the videos around me or the I right here to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.